Hey everyone, I'm Mike and welcome back to the channel. I'm joined today with my bro Isaac,
Hi.
and we're here to talk about some video games. More specifically, we're here to talk about Gen Z. And from an article that came from Vice. They're talking about Gen Z cutting back on video game purchases. Now it's as mentioned in the article by Vice, there was a research done by American research group. I can't pronounce that.
Circana.
Circana. Okay, that yeah. Gen Z, the Zoomer generation, is basically like cutting back so much on like new video games, nearly by 25% less a week compared to millennials, uh, Gen X, and whatnot. Yeah, and it's mostly, I guess a lot of the people are saying that it's a dark sign for like the future of gaming, because like obviously gaming should appeal to the youth more than any other like generation out there, and like obviously between Gen Z and Gen Alpha, like Gen Z should be the one spending the most on video games, but apparently, yeah, they're not really buying into it. A lot of people suggest that Gen Z aren't buying into video games because A, they're too expensive. B, they have a lot more responsibilities to focus on, and C, the new games out there aren't really good. Which I can would say like, yeah, to an extent that might be the reason, but yeah. What do you think is the reason Gen Z isn't buying into new video games?
I mean, pretty much everything you just mentioned right now. Unfortunately,
Mm-hmm.
right now you're in an economy that's not offering a lot of Gen Z people a lot of job offers. Now, to go back to what you said, this was originally taken from the Wall Street Journal, which also
Mm-hmm.
focused on other habits of Gen Z people right now, not just other than video games. However, video games, out of all of the entertainment choices, were the lowest on the list, going down
Mm-hmm.
by at least 25% in purchases right now. So, and that is a big concern to the video game industry because you're talking about a demographic between 18 and 24 that usually
Yeah.
has the most discretionary income
Or they
out of
should. Yeah.
everybody that should have it when purchasing all these games for a lot of the reasons. A lot of them are normally staying with their parents at
Mm-hmm.
home for a little bit younger, longer age than most. You're
Yeah.
normally going out with your friends, so yeah, you should have the most description. You should have
They
the
have the
most
most
income,
disposable income.
disposable income to be able
Yeah.
to spend on games. So the fact that this news is being shown, that's being done late in April to show that that's going down, this kind of adds on to the gaming industry struggling
Yes.
because it's also now being reflected in young people not making purchases on games right now. And it's everything that, like you said, I think it comes down to the fact that now this seems to be, maybe, I don't want to say, I don't know, I don't want to, I don't want to disrespect the generation saying that they're dumb. It's not about that.
No,
I
they're
think
not.
I think it's more in the fact that simply that they have been dealt a very shitty hand right now going
Yeah.
into what's everything that's happening right
Mm-hmm.
now. It's the
So hard.
economy at the moment.
About
I
to
get
say.
it. And now everybody else, us millennials as well.
Yep.
Boomers don't seem to give a shit at the moment.
Nope.
But for these Zenners, yeah, I get.
Zenner. I never heard that term.
I don't know. I just said
Zenner.
that,
Is it
Zenners.
actually? That, I mean, I don't hate that. That sounds kind of cool. Calling them Zenner.
The Zenners, right?
The
The
Zenners.
Zenners, it's Gen Z, the Zenners. But no, but I totally, I totally have empathy on them right now at the moment because of it, just how you're coming into a job market where there's basically no prospects at the bloody moment right now. You can't seem to find a job coming out of anywhere at the moment
Mm-hmm.
right now. You're struggling taking on a lot of these gig jobs that don't pay like
Yeah.
$4 or $6 a
Yeah.
pop in terms of what you're trying to find right now. So
Not
the
to, I was about to say, not to mention all this, the student loans. Student loans you gotta
Of
deal
course,
with.
student loans, credit card bills are starting to pile up in the wahoo because you've been hit with a lot of predatory bullshit right now that goes
Mm-hmm.
after young people. So yeah, the last thing right now in terms of if you're like an 18 or 24-year-old guy struggling to make rent, video games are not going to be on your priority or should
Mm-hmm.
not be on your priority on trying to survival. And that just goes for a lot of us at the moment right now. And
Mm-hmm.
millennials, you can't come after us. We're going to go to bed at 6 o'clock. We are just tired right now. We can't be playing the games every day. We have
Yeah.
responsibilities right now. Half of us have families at the moment right now. So that
I
money's not
can't,
going
and
to,
I, and you
you're
know,
not going to towards that.
and I was even gonna say I can't even imagine how Gen X must feel. And like everybody forgets Gen X is this thing,
Yeah.
like the generation that comes before millennial, that comes after millennials, but before boomers. Yeah.
I know it's a little. Gen X is a little bit of a weird situation because they didn't grow up on video games the way the millennials. We were
Well,
kind of the experimental with everything that kind of happened right
well,
now in terms of like paid
well,
subscriptions, online multiplayer, different avenues of video games. Not to say anything against Gen X though, but I feel
yeah.
like
I
we
mean,
were the ultimate when it, especially when it comes to the online age. Everything was kind of focused on us right now. So
yeah.
Zeners are just falling up from us and they just have no prospects right now in the moment to be able to spend on any of this.
Yeah. No offense to anyone who is out there who is like, Gen X. Like some of my favorite like YouTubers were born from Gen X, like the folks at Clownfish TV. Hello Neon if you're watching this. But yeah, just like gaming just in general, it's just not something that a lot of people in my age or the age after the generation after mine can really afford. It's just it's too expensive, and for the most part, it's another reason why a lot of people like me spend a lot of time playing free to play games because they are quote unquote free, even though they try to get you with a lot of microtransaction stuff. But for, a really decent free to play game can be enjoyed without spending much money on it. For instance, I am playing a game called Mecha Break that just released recently, and even though that game is loaded to the brim with microtransactions, it is you don't have to touch any of it. You can enjoy the game, get a few rounds, some robot fighting in, and feel satisfied. And that's mostly a lot of experiences that a lot of people go for. Another big example being Fortnite, a game that just has so much content that you can just get lost in, and it's a game that is 100% free, but you can spend a few dollars on like microtransaction. That's, I would believe, an experience that a lot of people that are millennials or Gen Z would gravitate towards. People, I don't have a lot of money to spend, but I do want a fun experience. So I'm gonna gravitate towards these free to play games or these gotcha games and these kinds of experiences because like. Listen, I know these games can be predatory at times, but at least if I have the willpower to just not swipe my credit card, I can enjoy something compared to having to spend 60, 70, 80, or even $90 on a physical game that you may or may not even know is good. See, these are the things that millennials and Gen Z have to now consider when it comes to what they pick in a video game experience now. And I really wish it shouldn't be like this, but that's really how it is.
Also now, I think you're also starting to see a lot of these games go on sale more often
Yeah,
than
yeah, yeah.
often. So if you are interested in buying that $70-$80 game, you're gonna wait until it goes on sale. Like
Mm-hmm.
Steam is almost having a sale almost every day, pretty much.
Yes.
Not just Steam, even
Uh, yeah,
Sony will have Steams on a lot of these AAA
I
games
mean,
to be able to cover costs right now. So
yeah. I was also able to say like you also got Epic Game Store. If
correct,
anyone who uses that a service like actually gives you a free game each month if you subscribe to that. You have like
GOG,
yeah, you have
good old games.
good old games,
Yeah,
like old games with no DRM that you can get on like steep discounts.
Humble Games too.
Humble. I'll have to
You can
mention that too. Humble Games. Yep, Humble Bundle. But yeah, people have to shop for deals now when it comes to games, and if you don't mind waiting if you don't mind like waiting a few months for a game that you've been eyeing, that's what most people are pretty much gonna do now. They're just like, yeah. Obviously, a lot of people would love to play a new game as soon as it comes out, but a lot of people just can't afford to do that. And with the rising prices, they really can't afford to do that.
Yeah, and again, you're choosing between, your quality of life. Gaming is not.
Yeah.
It's a form of entertainment, which I think should be in everybody's cycle. If not gaming, music, going to concerts, going to movies, theaters, plays, stuff
Yeah.
like that should be a form of your entertainment cycle. But again, in terms of living basic quality of life needs, especially with these young people right now, that might not be a choice. And I think I do give Zenners. I'm saying Zenners again. I think that's a good name for them. Maybe we need to start using that. I think they are starting to be. I think they're starting to wisen up, maybe because they just don't really have a choice right now. They
Yep.
can't choose to be able to enjoy right now. They have to pick their priorities straight. So I do give them credit. I know they've gotten the crappy end of the stick, but I do give them credit for at least making responsible choices right now and maybe not going after gaming. And to that, that's taking a shot at the gaming industry to maybe we need to really start thinking about how not to either consider overpricing these games, or if we're going to price these games at a high clip, we really need to make sure that our quality is on point to make even worth it
Yeah.
for these people to purchase these games.
Yeah, and this is the thing is like the truth is a lot of people like complain about $80, $90 games. I honestly believe most people wouldn't mind paying those price if they felt like they were getting an $80 or $90 experience.
Which is subjective.
True, true, true. It's just that it's been said like multiple times, but a lot of people believe that the only game right now that would be justified as an $80 or $90 experience is probably just gonna be GTA 6. And so much of the industry is riding on that game right now. Like I really don't know how well that game is going to be, but I do hope it lives up to everybody's expectation because if it doesn't, this industry is screwed, man.
Not only just that game, I think mostly their online play, which
Yeah,
won't even come out a
GTA.
year or 2 years down
Yeah,
the road
GTA
after
Online
that.
too.
So I mean, but yeah, it's really something. It is definitely eye opening. Was again mentioning with Xbox with their layoffs and their cuts. Um, the, and in just basic monthly, it's almost we're hearing almost every quarter there's cuts in other
Yeah,
uh part of the gaming industry and other companies at the moment. So yeah, I think everybody's feeling the burn right now on top of this, man.
very much so. It's a shame that that the Zenners, as Isaac keeps mentioning,
It's
can't
their
enjoy
name, man.
gaming. It's a shame they can't enjoy gaming as much as I would like them to enjoy gaming, but it's understandable that they're not really spending much, and I just hope that something happens with the industry to turn things around. Uh, but I mean, we'll have to see, especially when it comes to the AAA industry. When it comes to Double A and Indie, I think they're in a pretty good spot. They're usually very cheap, like very short experiences that they could just play and enjoy and feel satisfied with those. But of course, you still want that big blockbuster game, and again, those are just a little bit out of the like the financial reach of a lot of people. So yeah, like what do you feel about Gen Z and their lack of interest in purchasing video games in this day and age? Do you feel like it's understandable that they're not buying games, or do you feel like maybe they're just not interested? It's just let us know in the comments below. And if you like what we do here, please rate, comment, and subscribe. I'm Mike with my bro Isaac, and we are saying peace.